Okay, so we are indeed in May 1939, and there is something which has occurred to me which we have not yet started to do. And that is primarily, we haven't actually sent any troops to France yet, and we probably should. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to split you in half. And then send the half which is already well trained to go and fight against the Germans over here. And just hold that line. So you guys are going to need a marshal and a commander, and I think that marshal is going to be... It's either going to be Jack Jones or William Gott. And I think actually Jones is going to be the better choice. So I don't necessarily need to give you guys commanders yet. I just need to make sure you're in position. And then this army is going to be the one that's going to be charged with actually guarding Britain until I start churning out some actual garrison units. And then we can basically send these elsewhere. Oh yes, and then we have the Marines as well. Marines can stay where they are for the moment. Okay, so you guys are fighting against Nicaragua. You guys are in Honduras. You guys are Baratia, which is very nearly dead. But I need to be really careful that I don't lose these. And then you lot are the Italian front, and we're actually pushing down south really quite aggressively at the moment, so decent progress being made. I think... yeah, we'll just have you continue attacking as you were. Marvellous! And Sterling's getting some experience. So, Baratia is going to be the one that I need to focus on, because this is where the danger lies. Doing Byzantium with the Flavorful mod, extremely entertaining, but I will admit I cheated to bypass the insane early game. One of these days I really should try Byzantium. I haven't. Florence is frustratingly slow. Scotland is simultaneously very fast and very slow. Yeah, Scotland is like waiting until England comes for you and then fighting like hell to throw them out. Like the first war or two usually aren't too bad, but after that, after you lose the Highland clan bonuses, it gets a lot harder. Especially if you don't just want to form Great Britain and basically just do a Scottish Britain. If you actually want to play as Scotland, yeah, it's a challenge. They just pushed us out of there. Fine. I'm tempted to send you guys to Kolkata. Maybe try and push this back again. If we can. No. Don't do that. Right, because we're trying to stop the Dominion of Canada, Dominion of India taking everything. Princely Federation is actually the one that we want to have coming out on top. So let's see if we can push you back to the rivers. Exactly what I was hoping wouldn't happen. And the medium tank should be able to push these guys back as long as they don't get further reinforcements, which right now it doesn't look like they're getting. As soon as you've dealt with that offensive, let's have you assist. Thank you. Now you're getting reinforcements. Would have been a lot easier if the medium tanks were attacking from there, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Except now we're helping defend the capital. Need you to recover some organization. I could just end this and let the Princely Federation take Kolkata. Narsha has capitulated. Kolkata has fallen, and there it is. So, Princely Federation took 5 states. Dominion of India took 6. Baratia have been annexed. We are doing absolutely terribly in Asia. In Europe, we're doing pretty well. In Asia, not so much. And unfortunately, we also lost out on the Indian comrades focus. It just bypassed. So, Norwegian comrades, I guess, is the next one. A more equitable Norway has arisen, and we shall stand arm in arm with our socialist brethren there. The Norwegian and the British people have much to offer each other, and as a gesture of goodwill, we shall offer Norway generous economic assistance in exchange simply for future cooperation. Seems like good to me. El Salvador has capitulated. That is another of 2 of our armies heading home. Luckily, Asia requires far less focus since Japan will put a great amount of pressure on Germany for us. True, but I'd still like to have had a friendly nation over here so that we would have a definite source of rubber. Although I don't really see the Third Internationale being in a conflict with Copro. So we can probably continue buying our supplies from them. Automatic split off on? No. Let's turn that on. Make sure that you guys keep on preparing your stuff independently. Okay, good. Formation of Central America. Central America has long been divided, the various nations under heavy American influence ever since the Federal Republic of Central America dissolved nearly a century ago. With the advent of the Second American Civil War, however, the region was swept by conflict and turmoil, different ideologies struggling to assert themselves in this storm. So, Central America, yes you are. You're one of us. One of us. One of us. They have superiority. Am I going to try out the Rocket Artillery Marines from the multiplayer tournament? Probably not, because I'm already very stretched in terms of what I can research. What I would very much like is to knock out 2 Sicilies before war is declared. Germany's doing Europa Commission, you're doing Management of Territoire, which is construction speed, so nothing imminent yet. You know what, that seems like a bad place to attack, so how about, yeah, you move over here. That's better. And then see if we can put some more pressure on Naples. Baratia's forces have returned home. So that's Percy, Hobart and co. And that means that Jack Jones is still busy in Italy. Fall of Cairo. Are the Ottomans actually going to win this? That never happens. Cairo, the city of 1,000 minarets, is one of the oldest cities, serving as an intellectual cultural centre in the Arab world. It is also the beating heart of the Egyptian nation, one of several Arab nations that declared war on the Ottoman Empire. However, after a successful Ottoman campaign, the Egyptian forces have offered their unconditional surrender in the city, with some Egyptians offering the last-ditch resistance efforts in the Cairo citadel. Interesting. Fall of Kunming. For the first time since the defeat of the 3 feudatories in 1681, the city of Kunming has fallen to an invader from outside Yunnan province. After losing the Wujiaba aerodrome to the southeast, the Yunnan clique forces were gradually forced back along the Lake Dian, only to finally break in the city's ancient walls were overrun. Naples is about to fall. Troops from Nicaragua just arrived home. They keep on reinforcing, that's very annoying. Earl Browder named president. Following the harrowing civil war, the new syndicalist hegemon of America has called for a constitutional convention in order to sort out a new form of government. After lengthy debates, an influential clique of centralists persuaded in the convention to adapt an authoritarian constitution concentrating power in the hand of a single political elite. At the head of the elite was Earl Browder, a noted political activist and theorist. Browder stirred up some controversy with his new policies, which rejected syndicalist dominance over the economy. Instead, he fashioned a new America under the bureaucracy of the old, with the additional socialist amendments and more direct control from the central government. His supporters praised this as a means to slowly transform the country, while his critics are calling it a betrayal of the revolution's ideology. They are still totalist, though. Long live Comrade Browder. Louder with Browder. You guys, please put some pressure on this. They stop reinforcing Naples. Pretty please. If you actually, join the attack, that would be lovely. The fall of Alexandria. Yeah, the Ottomans are kicking the living daylights out of the Egyptians at the moment. The city of Alexandria is one of cultural significance and pride to the Egyptian nation. The place of the ancient wonders like the Library of Alexandria, the city is truly an important centre of life, culture and industry for Egypt. However, the Ottomans have made tremendous progress in the war with Egypt and her Arab allies, as the Ottoman forces this morning have captured the city and the port. It's a big princely fed. It is. Mostly at the expense of Baratia, but they got the really important territories. That's where the industry and the manpower is. So I'm hopeful that Baratia can, Princely Fed can fight against the Dominion. They're again bringing in reinforcements. Guys! Alright, seriously, pin them. Got it. Little bit of micromanagement required there. I really want them to take out the two Sicilies before this finishes. Also, the Italian Republic have now joined the fight. Two Sicilies still have a lot to go. Can I send you more? No. What about more planes? Yes, I can send you a lot more planes. Let's increase you to 100, so that's an extra 40, so that's going to be 430, so I can send you another 70 after this. Not 170, another 70. And we have another factory, which I think I'm going to put onto medium tanks, because I really want to start upgrading my light tanks to mediums. And the other thing I would like to do maybe is switch out the infantry I have down here in Italy and replace them with tanks. Green steel to mount Alsace-Lorraine. France is pressing the issue, unfortunately. I think we're just out of time. Norwegian comrades is done. Okay, so I think what we should probably do is the Republican Air Force try and get the fighter research. Air power is critical for success in the modern battlefield. Currently, our air service is subordinate to the army, and while that assures democratization, an independent air force would certainly be more effective. Thus, we must establish an air force both independent and socialist in character. There we go, the last of the convoy defences done. And I'm now also going to tell you to stop, because this is training that we should probably do in the western approaches. Base you in Liverpool. A German operative has been captured. Very nice. And thankfully, unlike the player SRI in the tournament, they actually guarded their flank against the Republicans. And you guys still training? You are, but you're actually very, very nearly finished. So that's good. I want your colour to also be red. Good. So how many medium tanks are we at? We're at 86. If I wanted to add mediums to the desert rats, how much would it cost? We need 150, we have 86. We'll wait until we have 120 or so, then we'll probably do it. Am I going to send a token force to Norway, or let Sweden take them out? At the moment, Norway's looking fine. If they need help, I can send it. It's not like we're far. And actually, how are we doing for guns? We have a few. I would like to create a infantry division duplicate, which does not have those. We can do with the sport artillery, that's fine. And these are going to be garrison forces. And I've just realised that these infantry are actually severely under strength. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch you to artillery focus. Like so. Do a bit more damage. And the garrison forces are just going to be straight up infantry. Like so. Which does mean that these guys are going to need to do some retraining on the borders with Germany. And it also means we are very short on artillery, okay, so we need to make some more of that. That's fine. Let's make a full army of garrisons. And that way I can basically free up these guys and have them in the main fight. Literally just cavalry with recon. How are we doing for motorized? I have surplus. I could probably switch out the cavalry divisions for motorized divisions. Why are they called motorized research? Bit weird. Not yet. How much manpower do you need to save for replenishment? Not much. Because we are still on limited conscription. And there are still a number of different ways that we can get more manpower. So I think we'll be fine. A riddle. Our railway syndicates have a tradition of giving out ridiculously difficult crossword puzzles in their newspapers. Only a few people managed to actually solve these puzzles. Now, however, Mid-England Rail Syndicate has reported for the past few months, anonymous letters have started arriving always containing the correct solutions to the last crossword puzzle. Whoever is writing these letters must be some kind of genius, and could probably help us. Find them! And find out if they're cleverer than Mosley, in which case shoot him. There can be only one genius in England. The Alsace ultimatum. After months of low-intensity skirmishes and diplomatic game-playing on the French-German border, the two behemoths are poised on the edge of potentially the most brutal conflict mankind has known since the dark days of the Weltkrieg. In a shocking escalation, the Communard government in Paris openly demanded the return of German-controlled Alsace-Lothringen, seized after the War of 1871 by the victorious Reich. Flouting international norms, a single squadron of French planes flew into German airspace, dropping thousands of leaflets detailing their grievances, much to the chagrin of the Reich's general staff. Such actions are sure to outrage public opinion in Berlin, and even now mobilization efforts are underway. At this point, it seems unlikely that a second Weltkrieg can be avoided. Commander of France declared war on the German Empire. I thought it was the Germans who were going to declare. So that's a +1 fighter. Let's do this. The enemy may focus on bomber research, but what good are improvised payloads if they only hit the ground together with the burning? Actually, hang on. Before we do that. It is August 39. I think it might be worth just researching the 1940 fighter and then keeping that buff for the 44. Yeah, I think it is. So in that case, I think instead I'm going to mobilize my industry. We need to convert every single industrial complex to produce material valuable to the war effort. Oh, hang on, we're at war. No. What I need to do is class warfare. For that extra 3% recruitable population. France? You want a hand? Alright, class warfare. War is upon us, and to preserve our great nation and secure our liberty, all working men must now unite for victory. We should promote the spirit of unity, self-sacrifice, and above all, renewed class consciousness to augment this war effort. Base war support goes up, national, class war, political power gain, division organisation, recruitable population, and training time. Those all sound like they might be very useful. The British Home Guard. 20 units of Home Guard shall be called forth to defend England. And then conscript vessels. We get some light cruisers. Yeah, they're free garrisons, which would definitely be quite useful. Right, first, before absolutely anything else, the thing that I always forget to do, war economy. There we go, I remembered from day one. Get in. And that is going to free up even more factories for even more production. And we now need to put Jack Jones in charge of these guys. And we need to put Sterling in charge of them. I'm going to put Browning in charge of the Marines initially, and then we'll probably replace with Sterling later once he's got some more experience. And then the next infantry commander is probably going to be...
Listen up. Ready. Ready to move.
Where is he? Anderson. Mr. Anderson. And then this is basically the beginnings of another infantry unit, which we'll put under your command, which is going to be Perkiev. And we'll put Perkiev in London for the time being. Alright, let's go ahead and drop the... No, I think I'm going to save up for the Home Guard, although we're also training these guys for Home Guard duty. Next up, navies. You guys are going to need to stop training. And also air forces. In fact, let's do the air force first before I properly forget. So we've got a couple of aircraft out about in the world. Let's make these 200s. 200. And then we have the close air support. And then we basically just want to bring in a bunch more fighters, I think. Because we have a lot of them. We'll spread you out once you actually deploy. Green air. One more. There we go. Green air. Lovely. That's what I like to see. Because we have a lot more fighters. Blimey. And we are defending every position here now, despite how things were going initially. Why am I not fighting here? Okay, now we are. We're just not being attacked, it's only the French. Okay, oil is clearly already proving itself to be a little bit problematic. We have enough tanks to make the desert rats into mediums, which I will do now. More new Mosley army. And then the boats. I have not prepared anything for this. Those are all escorts, these are all screens. These have destroyers which are also screens? Yes. Yes, they are. Okay, so we need to create our strike forces with a proper balance of proper ships. Denmark has joined the Reichspakt. Denmark turns to autocracy as the Second Weltkrieg rages on in the European theatre. A small Reichspakt nation of Denmark has had a crisis of its own. The Danish government has been gridlocked for weeks on the future of their nation in this new landscape. Fed up with the inability of his government to reach a satisfactory conclusion, King Christian X has, under his leadership of the Danish army, dissolved the democratic institutions of Denmark and has thrown the full weight of the Danish society behind the Reichspakt's interests. Long live the king! Started combat before we joined the war. Yes, I think so. They'll be in for the next fights, like these guys are now actually fighting. Oh man, Germany's already lost 32,000. Jeez, that's a few. Right. Good. Boats. So I have 67 destroyers ready for duty currently. Which divided by 4 is 16. So I can have a fleet of 16 capital ships total. So let's split out the destroyers. And then choose the most modern warships, not including carriers. Six. I think. Carriers don't need screens. No, they don't, because they are screened by these guys. Right, the big question for the next bit is going to be speed related. You guys move 28. You guys move 38. Wow, those destroyers are flipping fast. You guys move 34. How fast are you? 22. Yeah, see, this is the problem we're going to have. 22. Destroyers, battleships are slow. 25. Okay, so the Naseby is usable. 30. Oh, wow, the Nelsons are really good. So that's 13. 22. 22. Okay, so what we probably want to do is